It was a drama-filled weekend in the Scottish Premiership as Rangers lost 2-0 to Hibs and Celtic lost 1-0 to St Johnstone. We'll come back to the channel, reviews on the channel, Saturday, Sunday, plenty of action, plenty of drama in here, even if Hearts against Dundee United. If that tickles you, then that review's on the channel. But of course, Chris Sutton, we already brought you the dig that he fired at Rangers yesterday about how did Bazball get on today. Well, he's fired another dig at Rangers today after the Celtic match ended. But of course, not much changed in the league. 13 points is still the gap at the top, despite Rangers and Celtic both losing. And, it was also revealed, I can't remember when it was, but Rangers and Celtic both lost a couple of months ago. It might have been when Hibs beat Celtic. I think that's when Rangers lost to Motherwell, wasn't it? And it was the first time that the Old Firm had lost on the same weekend since 2018. It just shows you the standard is dropping. Celtic standards have dropped due to complacency of being so far ahead, and Rangers, well, we're shite, aren't we? At the end of the day, this is what Sutton said though, tweeted after the game, and I quote: "Well played, St Johnstone. Still scraping at the bottom. Not scraping, scrapping. Sorry, they're not scraping. They're all scraping the wallpaper off. Right, let's just restart that. They're no scraping it. It is 3 a.m. when I'm recording this. But anyway, and I quote: "Well played, St Johnstone. Still scrapping at the bottom, but a huge 3 points gives them a bit of hope. Andy Fisher outstanding in goal for Celtic. Still work to do. Not sure what has to happen to Nicholas Kuhn. Still, 3 points clear at the top isn't a bad position to be in. ... End of quote." Not sure what has happened to Nicholas Kuhn, right? He's kind of just dropped. His form has just absolutely nosedived. That's the reality. Maybe he can get it back. I think a lot of Celtic players' form has nosedived. I think you look at even someone like a Cameron Carter-Vickers. I think recently he's completely dropped off the boil. I think Alistair Johnson's dropped off the boil. You look at the likes of Casper Schmeichel's not in the team, Sinisola's in, that'll have an effect. Adam Aday's been shite for far too long. Dyson Maida's probably one of the few guys that can genuinely hold his heads up. His head's up like he's got more than one. You get my point, right? But my problem with Sutton here is, it's he's still got to make it about Rangers, doesn't he? It's I get it. If you're a Celtic fan, you shouldn't really be greeting too much because you are going to win the league and realistically you're going to win a treble. But why can't Sutton just be, why can't Sutton just call out the disgraceful performance for Celtic? You know what I mean? The bad performance. I wouldn't, it's not quite disgraceful. That's me putting the bait out there, hook, line and sinker and all that stuff, right? But the reality is, my friends, is why has he got to just fire that dig at Rangers? I mean, is he firing that dig at Rangers? So, at the end of the day, people like me, channels like me, talk about it. People get infested. People talk about it. And that's what he's doing. He's like, yeah, Celtic had a bad day today, but guess what? Rangers. Celtic still pulled a goal on them this weekend. I've seen a lot of people commenting that. But I tell you what, man, Celtic need to improve. And they need to improve big time, don't they? Because it's not good from them. It seems like the balloon burst in that second leg. I tell you what, man. I mean, yeah, losing that goal last minute of the game to Bayern Munich would do that. Absolutely tragic state of affairs. That goal in at the back post. And then the big man, obviously, couldn't quite clear it. Carter-Vickers, I believe he booted it off. Was it Alphonso Davies? I can't quite even remember. But yeah, we'll dive into what a few Celtic fans had to say regarding this post. So, right, where the hell's Chris Sutton's post away to? Right, this is what a few people said. How's Brenda Ball doing? All praise to St Johnstone today. They fought hard. Good second half by Celtic, but absolutely blown away by the goalie. One of the best goalkeeping performances I've seen in a long time. Get it right, Rooney. Sutton. Mentality of the Celtic team's unacceptable. Shouldn't be downing tools even if you're so far ahead in the league. Why did Hatate get the full 90 minutes? He was shocking again. Celtic have been off it for weeks. Maybe Rodgers is off in the summer and the players know. Kuhn needs to be dropped. And I don't buy into signing Schlupp. Nah, Schlupp looks pretty shite to be honest. And then Danny Boyce says, sick to the back teeth of the still 13 points clear thing. We've been brutal for a good while now, and the players have been way off the standard required. They've had a good season, but you can't chuck it 3-4 months before the season ends. Absolutely not good enough. No plan B. Across the park and down the wings. Once that's not working, it goes back the way to the keeper. Not good enough. Hope St Johnstone stay up though. So, as you can tell, there's a lot of people that aren't happy with this whole 13 points logic. And yeah, Celtic are going to win the league, right? They still remain 13 points, but you know, the standards have fallen. They have, and Rodgers called it out. Reality is, like, if your standards have fallen and you're still probably going to walk away with a treble, then your standards must be pretty high, but they have been. You know, and Ange used to whip out, we never stop. Celtic now seem to stop. But that's up to Rangers, man. The Rangers have got to lay the pressure on, and they just can't because they're pish.